Hello everyone, this is Meg at Chasing Retro, and I have 4 Patriotic / Americana / American History / Military Appreciation journals to share with you today. The first 2 I'm going to show you are made out of little golden books, and then the last 2 are made out of vintage nonfiction children's books. I believe they're both library copies, so they have that sort of linen paper feel to them. And those 2 are going to be ring bound. The first 2 are going to be sewn in signatures. These have a name because they're books, but I decided to name them something a little fun just to be more festive. These are going to be named the first 4 lines of the Star Spangled Banner. So the first one is "Oh say can you see," and then "Through the dawn's early light," and then "What so proudly we hailed," and then "Through the twilight's last gleaming." So let me show you the first one. This is "Oh say can you see," and this one is actually made out of a Mrs. Francis Ding Dong School. It is a golden book, but it was one that was made for her in her television program, I guess. This one does not have, neither of these golden books have the complete story in them. This one doesn't have any story pages in any of the journals because this is actually technically not a patriotic story. It's just about like a school marching band, and the pictures were not even patriotic, so I did not use them. The other book is called Our Flag, and I did use some images and pages from that book to spread throughout all 4 journals. So these have a removable tassel with a variety of, look at this crocheted patriotic, I love it. I used this daisy on here because it reminded me of the daisies on the fabric. Torn paper strips, satin ribbon, grosgrain ribbon, this peacock ribbon. This is some sort of a trim, like a dress trim, chunky white yarn, thinner yarn, eyelash trim, this fun ribbon with the gold stars. So you can remove this, you can clip it on the front like I had it, you can clip it on the side, whatever you'd like. And they all have a removable ribbon tie closure. I did not have the heart to punch anything in these beautiful vintage books, so that's why it is this type of a closure. So you know a little golden book measurements, but just in case, it's about 8 inches tall, 6 1/8 inch wide, and these have, oh, how wide did I make that? I think it's 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 inch spine. That is a curved, flexible spine with 2 signatures. And each signature has, I believe, 15 pages. Let me double check. I have misplaced my little check sheet. Here it is. Each one has 17 pages. So you do the math. And the ring-bound journals have 60 leaflets, so it's 120 back and front. So that one's a little bit easier to do the math on. But it's very flexible. I love to do the curved spines. I've been doing them more often because they lie flatter for writing, and you don't have to hold them down, which I love. Even you can put a few more pages in there and you still get a very flat book. I left the back as it was. I did not have the heart to cover that up either. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the flip through. Luckily, both of these little golden books, this one is very old. The next one is a reproduction of the classic, but neither of them had the name written in it, so that's really neat. So I left that page as it is. And then this is a double pocket, and I did a yo-yo fabric ribbon cluster here. And we have some play money. This is not the Capitol building, but it looked like it, so I used that. And then this is from a songbook that I got at a library sale in Birmingham not too long ago. Y'all, I found these recently at a thrift store. It's the brand Taggart. They're from the 80s, And I have some hearts by them already, but I found these watermelon tags. Are they not the cutest things? And then a little ticket. This is from a children's dictionary. This is from a book about presidential homes. So this is Monticello and a little ribbon here. And then this is just a little flip up tag. This is from a childcraft book. I just tore it and glued it to the edge. So you have lots of journaling space in there. And then this belly band is also from that songbook that I got. And tucked in here we have Mount Rushmore postcard, unused. We have a page from a book about George Washington. Are y'all excited about the Young Washington movie coming out this July? I am. I'm going to see it. I hope it's, I hope it's appropriate and historically accurate. We'll see. This is a page from a book that I have, like a notebook, that is used for people who are like naturalists. So it is completely waterproof, and it can also be written on underwater if you have that special pen that does that, space pen or whatever. So it has this weird coating on it, but I love it. I think it's so fun, and it is, it was blue and white, so I had to use it. And this is from a book that I recently got of bedtime stories, and it had a parade with some American flags and a poem about fireworks on the back. And then we have a gold doily, a punched red page. This is an engineering note, like a legal pad page. This is from another book about George Washington, and here's an airmail envelope. This is vintage. And then in here we have, I thought I put two things in there. I have this playing card about a blood donor program for the armed forces. This is from a book about shaker furniture, and this is a very old matchbook for war bonds. Is that not so cool? There's a matchbook in every one of these journals. And here's some heart fabric made into a ruffle. This is a book about the White House. And then clipped here we have Coca-Cola playing card. We have a While You Were Out and another page from that Abraham Lincoln book. Oh, I think I used two books by these same authors. The illustrations are similar. One was George Washington, one was Abe Lincoln. This is a Yahtzee scorecard, but it was blue and reddish pink. This is some vintage Tuttle Press gift wrap. And this is just a little seal. And this is an iron-on transfer. This is a little cluster with an Eisenhower stamp. And this is art tissue dyed paper. I have not used this in journals for a while, but I made some especially for these using my reds and blues that I had in my stash. This is from Childcraft, and I love the color block pictures, and the back is about the Olympics. Here we have a whale tail tab with a little, I believe Sarah sent me these charms. All the charms that I've used are very patriotic, and Sarah sent these to me in Happy Meal, so thank you for that. What's more American than Coca-Cola, right? And then here we have, this is from a Cub Scouts book on flag respect. And all four journals will have a shaker card. This is a mix of shaker pieces that I got at a craft reuse store in Birmingham, and it has sequins and confetti, but it also has the little, I guess, clay flags and sprinkles, like the little cake sprinkle type things. And then the center strings have these little foamy, they're really squishy, foamy stars. And here's Paul Revere. This is a napkin that I decoupaged and then cut the little bathing suits apart, and I stitched them onto tags. Each journal has one. Oh my goodness, this was the find. I found these at my craft reuse store. They are $19.89 by the Design Line. And do y'all remember when these bunnies were all the rage? That was a fun find. And then here's a little Betsy Ross image from the book about the flag. And a little tab with the American flag. Here are some blue chip stamps. Clipped here, we have an image of a father teaching his son how to play baseball, and this is some vintage quilt square. Might be feed sack, I don't know. Some of the pieces in the stash that I have look like feed sack. And this is a Jeopardy game piece. The White House book again. Here are some historical figures out of a children's book. This is parchment, and this is a little cluster with, I have a sort of like a license plate game, and it came with little stickers for each state. So that's what that is. Airmail envelope, and in here we have a little book page that I turned into a journaling card. Fussy cut of George Washington. This is some double layered lace ribbon combo, and then I also wove some grosgrain in here and sewed it down. Side pocket with a flashcard and a recipe card with watermelons and a receipt. So I did not have much red, white, and blue cardstock in my stash at all. So a lot of the images like this, these are all digital files. This one is not digital, but a lot of them are for the full sheets of cardstock. It's just really hard to find red, true red cardstock. I did have this piece though. This is very old Hobby Lobby paper. A little playing card, some money, and then here is an envelope. This was sent to me in Happy Mail. And then here I have a journaling card made with the image of young George Washington. And a little glassine bag with a ration stamp cluster, another playing card, and a game card from Ungame. These are more of those puffy stars. I just sewed them down in a line. And on the back, another puffy star made into a journaling card. And then this is a firework tag. And this is a Richard Scarry postcard. This is from a music book from elementary school, the Marines hymn. A little cardstock sailboat I stapled onto the edge of this ledger. Fabric pocket, and in here we have just this little, it says a quaint shop original Westfield, Mass. I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess it was a calendar page. And how cool that it was 1976. So that's a neat piece of ephemera. These journals have a lot of ephemera that I've been holding on to for years. And some of it is, I guess you would call it trash. You'll see in a minute, like packaging or whatever. But if it was red, white, and blue, I wanted to use it in these journals. Woodrow Wilson's limousine postcard. And this, I found this at an antique store in Florida several years ago. It was a set of letters from a Navy shipman to his wife at home in the early 50s. So I guess it would have been during or right after the Korean War conflict. So it's pretty cool. He talks about being in Norfolk, the shipyard in Norfolk and stuff like that. Here's a telephone address book page. This is from a little golden storybook. It's got the pledge. I love it. It feels almost pressed into the paper, the ink does. And then we have a sold tag. Thank you, Carla, for sending these. I used one in each journal. And a fabric tag. And this, I found a book of postcards for the bicentennial. And I left the part on here that you would punch off that tells the history of it and what the money goes toward. So these were like fundraising postcards for Ladies Auxiliary to the veterans of foreign wars. And they are all from 1976, of course. And then a piece of typing paper. This is a children's handwriting page, and it's about Americans long ago. And a little fabric tab. This is a very old Sears. I think it's 1976 Sears catalog, and the jeans and the cowboy shirts. I had to use it. This is from a quilting book. This is from a songbook. And then this is from an estate sale. I had a couple of cards that were sent, actually 4. 2 of them are sewn in, 2 of them are just tucked into the journals. Cards that a mom and dad sent their son when he was in the Navy during World War II. So these are very special. I have finally decided to let go of them. But they're all for Christmas, but they're all for Patriotic Christmas, which is interesting. The center is an ideals page. And then, see, Mother and Dad and Opal. I wonder if Opal's a sibling or a dog. And a gingham ruffle. Here is a fabric tag made out of a sheet, a fitted sheet that was evidently put out for the bicentennial. I found it at a thrift store. The colors are not really red, white, and blue, but the images were very bicentennial, and it looks cross-stitched. So there's a Liberty Bell on one of the tags. There's an eagle on one of the tags, but this is the spinning wheel. And then this is a Mount Vernon note sheet. I also have some of this sheet left over, just a large piece, and I'm going to list it in my shop. And it is very used. It is not crisp and new looking by any means, but if you are interested, it will be in my shop also later. I don't know if it's going to be up at the same time as these or a little later. By the way, I didn't say that at the beginning. When this video posts, these will be in my shop. So as soon as the video goes live, go to my shop if you're interested in one of these. I hate that I didn't say that at the beginning. This is just a little note sheet with stars. Someone sent this to me. It is an authentic coupon for Coke, and it's old, but it looks great. And then one of the first issue postcards from 1989. And it's the Philadelphia Independence Hall. Here is a fabric flip. This side of the glassine bag has a label for delivery and a playing card and a blue chip cluster here. This is from a game called Password. I just love the colors, of course, for this journal. And then all 4 of them have a, y'all know I have to, Family Circus. And this one is really cute. And then a Betty Crocker recipe card. This one's about baseball. And then all 4 of them also have a little mini notebook made out of this is from a calendar that I had many years ago that I kept World War II posters. So this one is, of course, Rosie Riveter, whose real name was Naomi, by the way. Okay, so this one is Oh Say Can You See? Let me show you the goodie bag that comes with it. Each one will receive a goodie bag. They're very similar in what they have in them. The design of each one is different, the assortment, but very similar stuff inside. There's actually 2 goodie bags. There's one of just paper and things like brads and things. Paper stickers, napkin, cutoffs, pattern paper cutoffs, book pages that I ended up pulling but not using. The envelope to the greeting card that you just saw was in here if you want to use that in a special way. So then this is the fabric pack, and I gave you more of those squares from the sheet, as well as offcuts of all the other fabric that I used, quilt squares, trims and ribbons and things like that. Just more things to play with when you get your journal and want to start making more ephemera for them. All right. From the Dawn's Early Light, here are the goodie bags. Same thing, just paper and fabric and ribbon. And this one is made from a Little Golden Classic redo. I left the back as it was. And it's tied with a red and white grosgrain ribbon. The tassel has some candy cane stripe yarns, striped yarn, stars, this really fun fringy trim, blue gingham, chunky yarn, this braid, rickrack, and white eyelash trim. Same measurements, about 8 tall, 6 wide, 2 signatures, 17 pages each. You can see it's squishy, and then a little charm on the side. This one has a blank page for you also. Here's a yo-yo cluster, and then we have some play money, the watermelon tag, ticket, playing card. This is an old stencil of a star. Thought that was kind of cool. This is from a Charlie Brown dictionary. He's admiring the flag. Password card and a card, a journaling card from a book about George Washington, Mount Vernon. Here is a belly band. I sewed a ribbon on top of this cardstock, a recipe card, North Pole Party, and another one of those bunny cards. There are 2 pages from the book in here, and this is one of them. I folded over and re-sewed to make it more narrow to fit. Here is some of that Tuttle Press gift wrap, a seal. This is a handwriting book page, some vellum, George Washington, and I have a book about Mount Vernon, and I have a book about Washington, D.C., and I have a book about the Washington Monument, and I also have a book about Abraham Lincoln. So that's where all these assortments come from. A little sailboat, shaker furniture page, airmail envelope with a while you were out and a playing card. Gold cardstock with the stars sewn down. A little cluster here with fabric. We have the Armed Forces Blood Program playing card, a recipe card, another piece of ephemera from this little girl taken off of one of her books, I guess. And then this is do y'all remember? I don't even know if they still make this. This is from an estate sale. A lady had just clipped recipes, including box tops, and I covered the back with cardstock for journaling, but I thought this was very patriotic, so I left it. An iron-on page. This is just a little torn image out of the book. This is a note sheet from a steel corporation. A really cool scalloped doily. Some fabric ruffle here. This is from the school music book. The center is a starred double pocket. This is from a 1980 Wilton annual. Really fun cake. This is from a children's book. This is from this book about flags with some, I'm going to say feed sack, because I think that one is, and that paper that you can write on in underwater. And then the puffy stars in the middle, and then here's an image of Mount Vernon, a fabric tag, one of those World War II Christmas cards, Is that not so cute? And then this is the front of a Dennis the Menace paperback that I had. I looked through the whole book. Would you believe there was not one patriotic Dennis the Menace cartoon in there at all? But I used the cover. Otherwise, he would have made an appearance in here as well. A little tuck spot here with a soul tag and a Jeopardy game sheet. This would be fun to collage with. A really fun fringy, almost like a boucle type fabric tab. This is some Franken paper that I made. Decoupage napkin made into a tag. A receipt. And this is a folk art image from a magazine that I made into a journaling card. Some ribbon here. Airmail envelope with the flash card and some money. Not real money. Clipped here, we have a Coca-Cola playing card. How cute is that? This is from a children's book. And another letter from the gentleman at Norfolk. I think that's where he's stationed. I don't know if he was coming back or about to go over. He's talking about looking for houses, so I think his wife is about to join him. This is a real estate transfer tax stamp. This is a really cool 3D sticker of the Lincoln Memorial. And then tucked in here is another one of those sheet pieces made into a tag with a Liberty Bell and an envelope. And in here we have one of those 5-cent pre-stamped postcards. Some really cool wide rickrack with fringe. A flip-up tag. And my son actually bought this while we were on vacation a couple weeks ago, but it was, I've actually been to this factory. My husband and I toured it on our honeymoon, but it just was, it's so America, you know, in the color. So I was like, I'm gonna make that into a tag. And then here's just a little, I guess it's a postcard, I don't know, with license plates. This is from a children's songbook. I love the artwork. Scoot it up a little, sorry. This is just a printing of the Declaration of Independence, I believe, or maybe it's the Constitution. I believe it's the Declaration, though, if I'm not mistaken. And another page from the book. A little cluster with an airmail stamp and a shaped journaling card with the foam. Some more of the art tissue dyed paper. The did I put 2 of these in here? Oh my goodness, I did. Oopsie, I'll put something else at the front. I forgot I sewed one in here. And then a little pocket with an Ungame, a playing card, and a raffle ticket. Engineering sheet, really fun fussy cut eagle. Here's the old matchbook for this one. It's a U.S. Naval Air Station in New York. Floyd Bennett Field. And then a whale tail with a little charm. This was a brochure that I got for free one time, I think at a thrift store. It was just in a free box, and it's about planting trees. It was very conservation of the early 70s kind of thing, so I thought that was a fun addition. And I love the artwork. This is from the Abe Lincoln book, I think. Nope, George Washington again. And then the bicentennial postcard book. I think that's Ben Franklin. And then some notebook paper. In the middle, I have an ideals page with an eagle. Still lots of writing space here. Some blue stars ruffle. Patriots Point, one of my favorite places in my state. You can tour all 3 of these ships. If you've ever been, you know what I'm talking about. It's fun. This is actually a submarine from the Civil War. You can go down inside of it. You can go all the way into this ship, all the way down to the belly of the ship. It is fun. It is hot. It is an adventure. So that was a really fun addition. And then Mail Time, Richard Scarry postcard. Oh, here's some how to get national recognition with a certificate on planting trees. And I love this guy. Let's make America a better place to be. This is one of my favorite pieces of ephemera in these journals. I found this at an estate sale. It was a young girl, like a scrapbook of hers, as you can see she taped it in. But it was a letter from her congressman in her state. I bet this was a school project where maybe she was just curious, but I have a feeling the teacher put her up to this, or maybe her parents. And she asked for brochures. The brochures were not in the scrapbook, but this letter was. And I thought that was a really cool piece of ephemera. That's another little family circus and a Mount Vernon note sheet. Atlas page, little tiny fabric flip there. Here is another playing card, and this is a reproduction of money from the colonies. After the colonies. I thought this was colonial Virginia. This is Virginia, but it's after the Revolutionary War. A blue tab. The belly band here on the last page, and in here we have one of those Coke coupons and a journaling card with a image of the Capitol with the flags, and then a bathing suit card. I know this doesn't really go with the rest of the solemn theme. I want these to be fun, but also solemn and serious. But someone sent those napkins to me in Happy Mail, and I was like, I can't not use those. All right, this is a little booklet made out of a recipe booklet for meal, like a recipe booklet with, I said that twice, meals that were able to be cooked with things that were not rationed, is what I'm trying to say. And there's an ad for radio in there. Okay. This was from the Dawn's Early Light. I need to remember to put something in that first belly band. Oops, this is the last one. What So Proudly We Hailed is next, and it is a ring bound. Here are the goodie bags that come with this one. Again, very similar. They're all very similar. This one is really tall, and I put 2-inch rings because I wanted it to be able to grow with you as you add more items. That's why they look so big. I didn't want you to be restricted by the ring size. Here is a tassel with the same kind of stuff, just longer, including some yellow to go with those words. I got to use turquoise in this one, which was really fun because the cover is so turquoise based. I love red and turquoise together. And it's tied with a Grosgain turquoise polka dot ribbon. The back is fun. It is literally a mirror image of the front. I guess it's not a mirror image. It's on the same side, but really fun. Same thing without the title. And it measures almost 11 by 8. After I took the book apart, these covers were very, very thick. I don't think I could have even gotten an eyelet in it if I wanted to for a tie closure, which is why I decided to tie these also, even though the tie has to come just under the rings. The edge, because they were so pulpy, was very raw, so I folded a piece of fabric to cover up that raw edge. And then I lined the inside because the inside covers were all marked up. Hopefully you can see okay. We have a corner pocket with a yo-yo and a ribbon cluster. Here's another one of those sheet tags and a playing card and the bicentennial postcard. And then we have some Franken paper. We have a dictionary entry. Johnny Appleseed. This is a Disney Johnny Appleseed image. This is a memory card. No, yeah, visual memory card. I recently got these. And they're just colored shapes. Interesting, but I thought it'd be a fun journaling card. And this is from a Wilton's annual book. I didn't have the heart to break this one up, so I just put paper on the back and folded it. So this one has 60 leaflets in it, and more can be added, of course. This is that the handwriting again of the document, and then a fabric tab. The rings do catch a little bit. I did file them down a little bit, but I didn't want to file too much because I didn't want them to open without you wanting them to open. But that's just the nature of ring bound. Honestly, I think that it is worth that little bit of an annoyance, if that even annoys you, to be able to have the freedom to move stuff around and add in. I love that. I will also include, I'm glad I thought of this, I will also include the templates that I use for both of these. So when you want to add another page, you just line it up with your page that you want to punch and stick it in there. So I'm going to put that in here right now so I will not forget. A song sheet. Look at this fun artwork. Here's one of those World War II Christmas stamps again. This one's from Sarah and Jean. This is from a songbook. I fussy cut him out and put him on this parchment. This is from the calendar that I have. This is one of the war posters. I love the Victory Garden campaign that they had. Little small pocket with rickrack, receipt, and a playing card. Here's a cluster with one of those sparkly stars. This is an envelope, and in here is another piece of history. It is a ripping out of the presidential vote. I looked up what year this was and I've already forgotten. Well, we know it's an Alabama newspaper because it's talking about Wallace. And then I see Goldwater. So yeah, Johnson and Goldwater. It's during the Vietnam War, you know, early 70s maybe. If you would like to date it yourself and write the date on here, you can. I don't see any years on here, but I thought that was really cool. I come across these a lot. People like to keep the voting tallies that came out in the papers. Typewriting paper, apple pie, recipe book page. The recipe's not here, sorry guys, but also ice cream, so that's fun. Cardstock that's punched, Steel Corporation. The thinner pages are the ones that want to get hung on the rings. If you turn them a little bit, sometimes it helps. Here is the back page of the Mount Vernon booklet that I used. And then here is the vintage matchbook for this one. It is an insurance company, America's oldest, in California. This is just an image I put on this pocket. The Pledge of Allegiance from a Cub Scout book, and a playing card. And the shaker card is the Star Spangled Banner. I put a lot of confetti in these. They're gonna add weight to these journals for sure. I'm gonna put this in the back. I just did a little banner with Eisenhower there. This, y'all, I don't know where I got this. It is from a very old Montgomery Ward catalog. is the guarantee. It had a rip, so I put some age tape there. But look at this. The writing of the Declaration of Independence. It looks like something that you could frame. And it's been very used. It was tucked into a book, I think, that I found at an estate sale. But what a cool piece of ephemera. And then a fabric ruffle there. A ledger page. I just tore this turquoise paper. Really cool wallpaper somebody just sent me recently. It's the red and the turquoise. And then this is from a Childcraft book. It's a war medal. This is one of the quilting squares that I had, and it was very big. So I ironed it in the middle and folded it around the page. So you can put something on either side and also write around here. Here's a fabric tag with flip-flops. An ideals page. Look at this beautiful glassware. And then just a fun little hash mark page. This is some of that gift wrap made into a ruffle. This is from a barbecue booklet. I've been waiting to use this one. So fun. And then clipped to this gold cardstock, we have one of those watermelon tags, a playing card, and a password game card. Yahtzee scorecard. A lunch bag, a wax lunch bag. So inside I put a recipe for sandwiches. It's got little George Washington's hatchet shape and a cherry salad. And then a book page that I didn't have the heart to choose an image from, so you get both. And a little cluster with the blue chip. Hang out the flag song. Engineering page. Some more of that Tuttle gift wrap. This is from a book about Washington, D.C. This is from the book, the Golden Book about flags. And then in here we have the postcard, Smithsonian with the war poster. Mount Vernon, the paper you can write on underwater. And whenever I say America poem, made into a tag. Graph paper with a little seal. Can you see that? Sorry. This is from an Ideals, I believe. Nope, it's from Notable American Houses, but I just loved the red and blue glass. And then clipped here, we have a little postage stamp glassine envelope that I tucked some goodies into. Blue cardstock with this ribbon trim. This was fun. This was the cover of my calendar, and she was glossy cardstock, and I fussy cut her, and then I split her in the middle to spread her across 2 pages. I was excited about this page. And then here is a American flag. You could do this with so many images, and it doesn't have to be in a bound journal. It could be in a ring. This is some fabric with the deployment ribbon, or away from home ribbon. And then sold tag. This is, I actually looked up this because I didn't know what era this was. This is early 1950s, and I think this is a B something. Oh, Stratocaster, something like that. I'm an airplane person, but I did not recognize that one, so I had to look it up. This, I didn't know what this was, so I asked ChatGPT to help me. This is an American soldier, but it's one of the Virginia regiments. Evidently, not all of our soldiers wore the same color. Evidently, the color blue was hard to get and more expensive, so a lot of our soldiers during the Revolutionary War wore green. I did not know that. So I wanted to make sure he was not a loyalist. He is not. And then this is a Gettysburg Military Park brochure. Really neat. So somebody, this is from an estate sale. Somebody went there, toured it, and kept the brochure. I don't know how old it is. 1961. And then a little note sheet with the sailboat, atlas page, a very large index card with a cluster with a license plate sticker, a puffy star journaling card, this really cool soda label, Churchville, New York, and then a fold out recipe card. A fabric tab up here, and then I think this is the signing of the Declaration. The Shaker Furniture book. This is a cluster made with a bank statement piece that I cut out. This is actually in my state. I don't know if they're all over, but this is a local bank to me too, from the 80s. Belly band with the seal in the middle, and then this is another one of those war posters, and this is from a Reader's Digest actually. Vellum, book about the White House. This is a really cool piece of ephemera someone sent me with Abe Lincoln on it. It is a offering envelope, I cannot think of the word, with the playing card in it. And then here is George Washington. I just thought how ironic it was that I put a playing card in a church envelope, because growing up we were not allowed to play cards. And then a little ruffle. This is an American Airlines soap wrapper. I don't know why they gave soap. Oh, you know what? No, it was definitely from an okay. I went to an estate sale where the couple traveled a lot, and there was a lot of railroad ephemera, but a lot of airline ephemera. And one of the things where she kept all the bars of soap from every airplane. I don't know if she took them out of the bathroom, if they gave them back then. This would have been the 60s. Did they give them away when they brought your drinks? I don't know. But this was an American Airline wrapper from Camay. Another war poster, and I just left the back because there's nothing written on it except a birthday hat that I drew. Here's a little opening tag. This is from a children's book, and it's when Alexander Graham Bell was debuting his invention. A library catalog card about Shaker Furniture, Jeopardy card, and another one of those war letters, or serviceman letters, I guess I should say. And then here is a ticket, an endgame, and some play money on this little divider card. This is from another book I have about the White House. Right? No? It might be, this might be, Mount Vernon. And then play money. And this is a postcard that is written on 1945, and it's all about someone's ailments and they were on a trip, but they had to have something done, some procedure done. So if you're squeamish, you may not want to read that. But it's the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And then here is a very old envelope that card came in earlier, and then tucked in here is a Cub Scout journaling card. A fold-out piece of moving paper. This is a coloring sheet from, what is that show called? Let me look at it. Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock did a history one, and this was talking about juries and stuff. Here is the little notebook made with the war poster about canning. Another little place to write. Art tissue dyed paper. This is from a children's reader. Independence Hall. While You Were Out. Birthday party. Recipe card. And Abe Lincoln. I think this is some sort of debate happening. Telephone book page. a stamp catalog, and there are a few stamps on there. I glued this little ribbon down, or paper ribbon. This is from an American hymnal, very old. This is actually gift wrap, just plain red paper gift wrap, and then a fussy cut of George, a prayer for servicemen, the Iwo Jima Memorial, beautiful turquoise background there, and a poem. And the last page is the bathing suit tag, Family Circus. This is my favorite one. That made me laugh out loud. First issue postcard and Abe Lincoln journaling card. That horse does not look very happy. What so proudly we hailed is this one. All right, the last one is Through the Twilight's Last Gleaming. And it is made out of a children's book as well. Here is the template that I promised. Here are the goodie bags. And the journal itself. 2-inch rings again. Detachable tassel. This one has curly ribbon on it. Silver fabric strips. I wanted this one to look a little more homespun just because of the nature of the book. I have that red fabric on the edge again, tied with the wide Grosgain. The back is exactly like the front. Well, different pictures, but same general look. And let me measure it for you. This one is 10 3/8 by 6 3/4. 60 leaflets. There's a bird outside having a really good time. I don't know if you can hear her. Okay, corner pocket with a yo-yo. Tucked in here we have a Coca-Cola playing card. Oh. And then the bicentennial postcard. And I don't know if this is even worth anything. It may be, but I'm letting it go. This is a reissue, a commemorative issue of stamps commemorating 1941. Everything that happened that year, or that decade rather. Pretty cool. Mount Vernon note card. I think this is the first battle of the Revolutionary War pictured here. And then a recipe for cornbread. And this is just a really fun, someone sent this to me in Happy Meal. It's a really fun bread that looks like a ticket. I put tape on the back so it wouldn't catch. U.S. Air playing card. Raffle ticket, ungame, and play money. Ledger with a whale tail. This is from a children's reader. Fabric tab. This one, oh, I thought they were all Christmas. This is Easter. It has a little tassel. How neat. Is this the one? No. I thought one of these she had written inside, but I must be dreaming. Okay. This is a little sticker of Jefferson Memorial. This is from Ideals. It's little quotes about history. A little scallop punch page, a quilt square pocket, shaker card with a parade, dictionary definition. I guess that should go behind it. FDR sticker, the Mount Vernon book cover. And then clipped here we have the war poster booklet, the cadet nurses. The envelope to that card, and I tucked in 2 journaling cards. Red gift wrap, fussy cut of Uncle Sam, atlas page, Another cluster with the bank, the bathing suit decoupage tag. Another Cub Scout page. This is cool. I went to an estate sale of a gentleman who was stationed all over the world, but right after World War II, he was in Hawaii. So this is a map of Honolulu. I said it was during World War II. It was not. I want to say it might have been like late 50s. Because it doesn't look that old. Very cool though. So you can have fun with that, or you can keep it as it is. Steel Corporation. George Washington with the ruffle. Home on the Range from a school book. Some ribbon on avocado dyed paper. That red wallpaper again. While You Were Out. This is a book about for stamp collectors. Not a book. It was a little index card, a notice that came in a stamp collector's pack. And this is that paper that's indelible. The stamp page, let's see, 2 of the stamps are still on it. Black writing paper. This is a Hallmark calendar page that I folded and made into a pocket. And then this is someone's flashcard for an economics class. I guess I should turn it that way. Also, someone walked every day that month, or almost every day, and they wrote it down. This is a house with 1776. This is from that bed sheet. And a George Washington page. Paul Revere. Recipe card. And playing card. This one has a little patriotic heart charm on it. This is a book about American homes, architecture. A little paper sack with a cluster here, and tucked in here we have one of those memory cards and the letter home from the soldier or the Navyman. More indelible paper with a little seal. Paul Revere's story. Mini pocket with a coupon, local delivery label, playing card, and play money. Frank Lloyd Wright stamp there. Torn craft paper. Gift wrap. Here is a sold tag. This was a panel, fabric panel, and I put the teddy bear on file folder and fussy cut to make a tag. And this is from the book about our flag. Another war poster. Vellum. Abe Lincoln fabric tab. Theodore Roosevelt, a little ripped off piece of a children's book. Another ideals page. Look at that cut glass. Pulling on the back. Large index card with a blue chip cluster. Flashcard, playing card, postcard. Another Schoolhouse Rock coloring page. Decoupage napkin pocket. Flip-flop fabric tag. DC postcard. Pilgrim journaling card. Art tissue dyed paper. This was in one of those books that I have, Guide to the U.S., but it was like the installment where you can get one per week at your supermarket. Airmail envelope. Inside of here is a really cool piece of ephemera from a lighting fixture, and it looks very, it's colonial, so it's probably late 60s, early 70s, but it's red, white, and blue. Thought about saving that for my retail journals, but I put it in here instead. And then the watermelon tag, playing card, and a card catalog card about sociology. Little soldier fussy cut, Jefferson Memorial, 3D sticker here. And this is the cover of a reader someone sent to me a long time ago, and she's got a flag. So I made it into a large journaling card. Jeopardy, receipt, Rutherford Hayes, flip tag. This is, I just made this into a little tag on graph paper. A shaker book page with the matchbook being a Congress ad for someone running for Congress. Don't know what year, you have to look that up. And then fabric ruffle here. On the back is an up-tuck pocket with Franken paper, and then a family circus, another Patriots point, and journaling card from a songbook. Typing paper, hymn book page. All of these are reinforced, by the way, the thinner pages. Journaling card, puffy star. This is an actual iron-on pattern of an eagle. I think there's a large and a small eagle. Yep. 1991. Yahtzee. Another Sears catalog page. Look at this patriotic bedding. Love it. Cruise quarters. Engineering paper. Tab divider. This is from a book about Williamsburg. Book about the White House. And a fabric pocket in the back with a journaling card, an Abe Lincoln card, and a tag. How fun is that? Through the twilight's last gleaming. All right, you guys, these are in my shop as of now. I hope you'd enjoy the flip through. If you're working on a birthday USA journal this year, I hope these gave you some inspiration of things to look for or go scout out. These were a lot of fun to make. Very long time in coming. I'm glad I finally got them made. And I don't plan on making any more for a long time, which is why I'm giving away all the extras. So you guys get to benefit from that. And I get to clean up a little faster. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.